She's still in there. The little girl that loved deeply, had big dreams, and sometimes got hurt along the way. Today, we're digging into healing your inner child and reclaiming the parts of ourselves that we forgot.
And we're your girls, Nikki and Amy, and you're joining us today on Sip Happens, the Midlife Truth Pour, where we're going to get into all the messy and uncomfortable experiences that we've seen in midlife. So stick around, let's get into it.
This one's a heavy topic.
Very.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Inner
take a drink
child.
before we start this.
I think we need a shot.
This is going to be serious. So, look below. Sorry. Cheers. Look below. That's me and Nikki when we were little.
That's it. See if you can figure out who's who there. It's pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm.
The one with the waves is probably the curly-haired girl.
Right.
And the one with the straighter hair is probably straighter-haired girl.
But
that's us. We were cheerleaders.
They were so cute.
That was 9 years old?
Yeah, about 9, yeah.
We were about 9 years old.
Yeah, so this, I don't know about you, but thinking about preparing for today's episode was a little hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to say this before I start, because I'm thinking about it. This is, whatever we talk about today is, I just want it to be known that this is not like a dig towards parenting or my parents or anything like that.
Or mine.
Or yours, absolutely. Because our parents did the best that they could.
With what they had.
With what they had, the information that they had. And I would not change a thing about anything, my childhood. Like, I love my childhood. It's who it created me, or it built me to be who I am today. And so I don't want to take away from any of that.
Rightfully so.
So.
That's fair. That's a good way to start.
Okay.
Because we adore our parents, the one that we still have.
Right.
We have moms that had
Amazing.
more strength in a finger than I will ever carry in my entire body.
Absolutely.
And I will always honor and respect them both.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Ready for the first question, or you want me to take it?
Let me see this question here. No, I'm going to ask you. You want to answer this one?
Whatever you want.
That was a really good gulp. You're going to get into it. Yes.
Here we go.
I'm ready. Okay.
Let's go.
What was the moment in midlife that made you realize there were younger parts of yourself that still needed to be healed?
The part around creating boundaries. Okay. You're always going to hear me talk about boundaries, and I get excited when I get to talk about those, because I'm finally in a place where I'm brave enough to create them, lean into them, stand on them, and not walk away with shame or guilt. Mm-hmm. When I think about my inner child from the perspective of what I'm still trying to heal, I think we all were. I think a lot of people are going to relate to this statement.
Oh, yeah.
You're raised thinking that you have to please people. You're raised to be politically correct in the room. So what does that mean? You're not taught to be kind. You're taught to be nice. Be nice to everyone, right? Be pleasing in the room. Be a representative of me when you go out in the world, right? And I'm responsible for the same thing. I think I've outright said it to my kids like that. You're a representative of me. You better represent me well when you walk out this door, right? But what's really the messaging there? And for a long time, it was being pleasing, even if it hurt me.
Yeah,
it was pleasing others and growing, maturing. I am now starting to boldly step into safe boundaries that feel good for me without the shame. Yeah. That's the big part about it, right? Because you can have boundaries and go home and say, oh my goodness, that was so painful. I feel terrible. Right. And in 3 days, I'm going back and I'm going to apologize to that person.
And then you're at the same, then you're back at it again.
Then you're right back at it again. So for me, it's really boundary setting, not being kind, not having to be nice.
Yeah, you can be kind, but you doesn't mean you're going to allow people to walk all over you.
Right.
So that's where the boundaries kick in.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think when I think about my inner child and some of the things that I'm still working on, that I find myself always, because you always get to that place where you revert back, or you see yourself doing that thing and you're like, but I'm far more aware. My self-awareness is on another level right now. And I catch myself in the moment. I'm like, oh, we're not doing that.
No.
Right.
And that's maturity.
That's maturity. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
How about you?
Well, for me, I think it's somewhere, and I can't pinpoint exactly when or what age or what year, but for me, it's really all about how I was parented and how I changed that and did it differently with my kids. You know, what did they miss doing for me that I didn't want to miss doing for my kids? The little girl that I was, my inner girl, needed XYZ, and I wanted to make sure that I provided that for my kids. So, and there's a lot to that, you know, listening, just being there, supporting. Where my kids, I feared my parents. I didn't want my kids to fear me. A little bit, a tiny bit. Fear me a tiny bit, you know, but be able to come to me.
Respect me more than fear me.
Right. But be able to come to me and talk to me. And I feel like my mother probably just didn't have the time because she had two older ones, you know, and so I was the third. So all the things that I feel like I didn't have, I always wanted to make sure that I did for my kids. And so when I'm in those situations, whatever it is, for either one of them, I think about how I felt when I was younger, what that little inner girl needed, and I want to make sure I give to them.
Yeah, rightfully so. And here's the thing. That's what we should all want. Is I have no problem saying I wasn't a perfect mom. I came with my shit, right? I had my stuff that I had to work through. No matter what that was, this parenting stuff doesn't come with a manual. So here's the only thing you can hope for. One, that you have a lot of grace and discernment and patience through the process, because it doesn't come with a manual, right? There is no perfect parenting. There's no such thing.
No.
But what you can hope for is that you give them enough discernment of their own to say, these are the things about mom and dad I'm going to take with me and continue to pass on.
Of course.
And here are the things I'm going to make a little better.
And do differently.
Because that ultimately is how you break the generational curses that are passed down.
That's right.
And our upbringing was a blessing compared to their upbringing. And the stories, the countless stories. It was the Wild Wild West, how they were raised. So for them to raise children like us that became women, successful,
kudos to them,
right? Fairly successful women with the little bit of guidance, real guidance that they had, and doing the best that they could. That's where the grace shows up.
That's right.
And in giving that grace to them, we can only hope that our children pass that grace baton to us at some point.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we didn't have it all figured out.
Nobody does.
In our mind, we lean in and we say, hey, when it comes to these kids, we did the best we could. So were they.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm sure, you know, if you talk to any given one of our kids where they say, you did the best you could, you did great, mom. There's some stuff in the back of their head that they're saying, not doing that with my kid. Right?
I would hope so.
You would hope so.
And I would be,
of course you would hope
okay with that.
You should, or you're not doing it right.
Right.
Right. So,
well, we might have another visitor.
There's that. Good boundaries, though.
Yeah.
And hoping that generation after generation, that they don't revert back to some of the things we didn't do so right.
Right.
But that they continue to improve and do it better.
Yeah.
That's healing in and of itself. If I know that my children know well enough to look at me and say, I love all of these 10 things about mom.
Yeah.
But there's these other things over here I'm not doing with my kids.
Right.
Well, rightfully so.
Yeah.
With each generation that grows, it's different.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't have social media back then. And there is so many things that need to evolve and change with the next generation's parenting. I hope my children will do a little better than me, because that only means that the generations after us evolve and they are better than we ever were.
That's right.
That's my prayer for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Agreed. I agree with you.
So even with potentially the traumas that came, the lack of whatever.
Yeah.
Without even unpacking it here, because that could take 5 hours, right? Without even unpacking it, wherever there was lack, we know that regardless, it came from love and good intentions.
Oh, of course. Without
right?
a doubt, yeah.
And if you have that backing it, well, you say, I'm going to work through my shit now. And I'm going to forgive myself for some things.
Right.
And I hope that our parents say that to themselves often.
Yeah.
I'm going to forgive myself for some things, and forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Forgive. I say that to myself all the time. I need to forgive myself for some of the things I even did to my children, whether it was in haste or in anger or a bad day, and they got the brunt of it because they were the closest thing to it at that time. Forgive yourself. Yeah. And forgive her. Forgive the little girl.
Yeah.
Forgive the little girl for the shame that she carries today, or any guilt that she carries today. You got to forgive her.
Yeah.
Right? I know I spend a lot of time in that. I want to forgive her. And I say that out loud often. I want to forgive her because I know that I only grow and become better and become whole through that internal work that I do on myself.
Well, you can't move on if you don't.
Right. Well, you can, but
important.
you're probably gonna move on a little bit broken.
And yeah, a mess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Question number 2. Here we go.
You gonna read it, or you want me to?
I will read it.
Go ahead.
How do childhood experiences or old wounds show up in women's relationship confidence or self-worth during midlife?
This is a lot.
Well, we could talk about ourselves here. We could talk about all the women we're surrounded by, because I see it, man. I wrote a list here.
Did you?
I sure did.
First, because
I have a list, and I have to read it because I can't do this by memory, but I wanted to be real thoughtful about this because it's a thoughtful question.
It is.
So in my mind, and this is just my experience with women now, just engaging with women in general, you will see it with my top one, people pleasing, what I just talked about. People pleasing is a very big one. Jealousy.
Huge.
Jealousy in other women. Man, those insecurities don't come from just nowhere, right? There is someone inside that says, I hate myself, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't love who I am. So if you have that thing, whether you're magnetic or you take up space in a room, or I feel like you are something I want to be, I'm not going to cheer for you. I'm going to hate you a little bit. That's ugly. And so many women do that. But that's, that's where it shows up. Trauma bonding. Can we talk about trauma dumping?
I was just going to say trauma dumping is huge. So we're going to pretty much have similar answers. So we might as well just keep going on this, because trauma dumping is something that,
say it,
I have a lot around me. And I don't know if it's because in general, I'm a good listener. It's just who I am. I like to listen. My first thing is always, how are you? What's going on?
Because you care.
I do care.
You genuinely care.
And I am an empath. So I do feel, I don't know, it's kind of like a vibe. I could feel it. I know when something's going on with somebody, but I care. And I want to listen. But trauma dumping is real. It's real. It's a lot. And I have a lot of that around me. I also see a lot of insecurities in women that I can pinpoint, that that has to be something because I see it in myself, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so that has to be something that happened to them in childhood, or, you know, women who are just, so we all have daddy issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether your dad wasn't in your life ever or for a short time or whatever it is, or maybe he was always there and he just wasn't what you needed. But I see a lot of that in women also, you know, some daddy issues.
That
And
screams off the page by the men that they choose.
okay, that's what I was going to say. The men that they choose,
What they accept from the
what
men
they
that they
accept and
choose.
how they present themselves to be accepted
Mm-hmm.
is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But it's only crazy to me, not because I'm judging. It's only crazy to me is because I just don't understand it at that point.
Well, it's because you seek validation in those scenarios.
Right.
Right? When you're chasing validation, it's because somebody didn't tell you when you were young. You didn't have a daddy
Right.
that loved you well, that validated you, or that was there, or that made you feel safe.
Right.
All of these buzzwords I just rattled
Right.
off.
So that's my big one. Hold that
Mm-hmm.
hold that point real quick. I just want to say something. That's my big one is yes, daddy issues are huge and you see that. So for me, if I'm talking about myself, that's one of my things is that my father passed, not, I wasn't a toddler or a baby or a little girl, but I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So I did for a long time look for that validation because I didn't have that. You know, he wasn't there to teach me how to drive or walk me down the aisle or see my children or see me graduate or even.
Well, to some degree, even the safety.
Right. So I look for that and I still crave that a little bit because in my mind, I'm like, well, that's not how my dad would have done it. That's not how my dad would have.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
It's a personal one.
Do it.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready for all things.
When you think about your husband and how young you found him, do you think you were looking for a little bit of daddy in him?
Yes. I can answer that honestly. Yes, I was. And a lot of, even at, I mean, y'all, I met my husband at 16, married at 19. So even when we married at, I was 19, he was 21. I still saw a little bit of my dad in him, little things, right?
And I can verify that.
She was there.
See
She
that
knows.
about Faye.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. So I see a little bit of, and even to this day, I mean, he's well into his 50s, and I still see little things here and there about my dad. But so yeah. So for me, it's a little different from other women having daddy issues. You know, the way I wasn't out there.
It
just
shows
looking
up
for
different.
Yeah, it shows up differently. So,
but they always say that you look for your dad in who you find, good or bad, right?
Yeah.
So if you had a good relationship or a good father-daughter experience, then you, and I know my father, for, fun fact, he was hilarious. Probably one of the funniest humans I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, he was a crack up, and anyone you talk to or anyone that's watching that knew him, they're chuckling and validating me on the other side of the screen.
Absolutely.
Because he was just that guy. My husband, sense of humor, anything I chased, even in my dating relationships prior to my husband, if you didn't have a sense of humor like my dad, it's a no-brainer, right? It was never going to work. My dad was hilarious. I always chased that because I always felt like that was such a healthy part of even the relationship that I shared with him.
Yeah.
Laughter is so important.
Because when you think about all the other stuff, you know, in the household when we were younger, my inner child, that little girl, you know, you see things, you know, parents fight, this and that, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But that's one thing I always will hold on to is my father's sense of humor.
Yes.
And so that I definitely saw in my husband. So yeah, I mean, everybody has a different thing, but women who seek validation, I just did it differently, and everybody's different. But yeah, it just
you can see it. You see how it shows up.
Yeah,
you see how it shows up.
Yeah. Next question. You ready? You have more to say or no?
No.
On that? Okay.
No, I think we covered what I had to say about it.
What does reparenting yourself actually look like in everyday life as a grown woman?
Man. Wow. Yeah. So for for me it's continuing to nurture the parts that didn't feel good,
Mm-hmm.
right? Growing up, to your point, we had our experiences, some good, some bad,
Right.
because that's life.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
That's life. And I don't
Yeah.
know that it matters the household that you grew up in.
Mm-mm.
No one can grow to this age and say, man, my childhood was perfect.
Yeah.
And if you can, message me. I want to hear all about it.
Yeah, please.
But it's, you grow up and you have experiences, some good, some bad, um, trying to nurture the parts that really didn't feel good,
Mm-hmm.
and listening.
Yeah.
I don't know that I ever thought back and even spoke to my younger self subconsciously to say, what, right? What didn't you get? Or why do I behave like this? Or why do I have this trigger?
Yeah.
Why does this trigger me the way it does? There has to be something that triggers me the way it does, right?
Mm-hmm.
That shows up, that brings me shame, that brings me guilt, the way I react.
Yeah.
I'm not, for the most part, an impulsive person, but there are triggers that create that impulsivity in me to react, to go 0 to life in prison. What
She said that.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did. It's true,
Yeah.
right? What are those triggers?
Right.
And until you start digging deep and peeling back that onion of what happened, what made me react that way. Some things are really crystal clear, my why. And then there's other things that I still continue to soul search to understand why. There has to be a more profound reason why. That just does, those things don't show up, those triggers.
Yeah.
Right? So trying to nurture the parts of me that still don't feel good and be intentional in those spaces.
Yeah.
I think that's how I reparent myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about you?
I feel like I'm reparenting myself all the time. I think for me it's because I feel like I was parentified so early, and again, this is not me, throwing shade at my mom or anything like that, but I had to grow up quickly, and I had a lot of responsibilities early. Um, so I think every day, especially when my kids were smaller and then they started growing up, I think every day I was, along with parenting them, I was teaching myself so much. And I never really gave myself grace until I started therapy. When I started really digging deep, you talked about triggers, and I started realizing what really triggered me. And there was little things, and I, before therapy, I didn't realize that those things were affecting me the way they were. And then when I started therapy, I realized. And so I went back and I realized, okay, well, I wasn't getting this when I was younger, or I needed this, and who knew I needed that, what was I missing? And this is why this is triggering me today. So as I parented them, I was also parenting myself. I was a young mom,
Right.
and it was hard, but I did it, and I just kept doing it. And there was moments where I was pissed, like I was like, God, that I'm in a bad mood today because I didn't know how to handle this. But if I had this when I was younger, or I just got triggered, something pissed me off, and I reacted in a way that I was not proud of.
0 to life in prison.
0 to life in prison, right?
It happens.
It does. So
I'm not proud of it, but it happens.
no, and I think that you're always reparenting yourself, kind of.
I think so.
I think that doesn't stop.
I think so. That's a part of just growing.
Yeah.
Right? Reparenting yourself, in my mind, that translates to evolving. Right? How do you continue to evolve if you're not constantly reparenting?
Right.
Right? And I would never use that word.
No, until today.
In what I'm doing, in the work on myself that I'm doing, but it translates well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's valid.
To reinvent yourself, I guess you have to reparent.
Right.
You got to start
right
from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was things that we probably missed but didn't know we were missing until now. Well, what's next?
Well, here's another thing that I'll say that I forgot to say.
Yeah.
The reparenting, constantly teaching people how I want to be treated now. That's one that's worthy of not missing.
Can you say that again?
We're going to say it again.
Please.
Teaching people how you want to be treated. It's so important. And
how
that's
working,
family.
Though?
Huh?
How does that work for you?
Showing up as myself, my true self, right? Not the version that you need, that she needs, that he needs. Showing up as myself, my authentic self. And not tolerating disrespect.
Right.
Right? I think respect is it's loose nowadays. It's loose nowadays in relationships, right? It's loose. That's the one word that I can come up with. And so being able to say, here's my line, right?
Well, back to boundaries.
Back to boundaries. It's the only way. It's back to boundaries. Yeah.
Because I feel like, it's hard for me, it's hard to teach people to treat me the way, and not the way I would treat them, but to treat me the way I would like, And so is that disappointing to you? I mean, when people are not the way you would treat them or the way you want to be treated?
Well, I think if you're clear about your expectations and your standards, right? You got to have a bar.
Yeah.
And if you're clear about your bar with yourself, then it becomes very clear to everybody else.
Yeah. So do you find yourself letting go of people who can't align with that?
Yeah. Sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
There's not enough room at the table for everyone, Amy. Right? There is not enough room at the table for everyone.
Right.
You're going to have your tribe, and then you're going to have the people that can't get on board. And that's okay.
That's okay.
To differentiate the two.
I think to step away is so big. And it says so much about you as a person, you, me, whoever. When you're stepping away and you're able to do it with confidence,
right,
and knowing that you're doing it for yourself. It's not to hurt anybody. It's just doing it for yourself. I think that's huge. And I think that takes a lot of work.
It does. Intentional.
A lot of work. Intentional work.
And constant.
Yeah.
It has to be consistent, right? Because the minute you flex a little bit and you're like, well, I'll let them get away with that.
Right.
Right. Or that'll be, well, look at this large group. That's going to have to be okay because I've stepped away from relationships when I felt like I wasn't met with that in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes you have to walk away when respect isn't being served.
Sometimes you have to give up a lot, and it could mean changing the whole dynamic.
It's uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. It could mean changing your whole family dynamic. But you have to step away because it's so important to treat people the way you want to be treated. But if it's not healthy and it's toxic, then because, and I'm not, this is my experience as a child, there was a lot of toxic experience, circumstances, situations. There was a lot of that when I was younger. And you put up with it so much because, it's family, it's this, it's that, it's that. But as you get older, you don't have to put up with it anymore. And that's something that my inner child, that little girl didn't know.
Yeah.
And so she knows it today.
Right.
It took a while, but she knows it today. And so the reason why I asked you is about disappointment and stuff, because some people aren't prepared for that. They want to do the work. They want to step away. They want to say,
And it depends who you're stepping away from.
Right.
Right? It depends, because those decisions get really hard at times when all you know is what you know. And to your point, you're stepping away from an intimate relationship, maybe a spouse, maybe, right? Where respect is no longer being served, or maybe never was. And your boundaries catch up. Your expectations catch up. Your confidence shows up. And your inner child says,
no more.
No more.
No more.
If it's not being served
we
at
have
that
to
point,
protect that little girl.
Yeah.
Here we are in midlife. I'm 50, you're almost 50. We have to protect that little girl because there were people looking out for us when we were little. We had great fathers, our mothers are phenomenal. But there's so much in life that they were doing. So, we weren't always protected.
Yeah.
So we have to do it
that's
today.
a real statement.
Yeah.
That's a real statement.
Yeah.
And it's what it is, again, going back to doing the best you can with what you have. But what I do know to be true is that there is an opportunity to re-meet her, right? To reintroduce yourself to her.
Yeah.
And to say the things to her now that you might not have had a chance to say or know in the moment.
Yeah.
And that's humbling. It's powerful.
Yeah.
It's emotional, right?
It is.
To be able to go back and say all those things to her that she didn't know, that she didn't understand, that she didn't know, that she did the best she could with. Yeah, there's still power in keeping that relationship.
Yeah.
And staying honest and staying curious. And man, the power, and even being able to lean into her and say, how am I doing? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. We knew this was going to be hard. There's a box of tissues right there. We knew this was going to be hard. Ladies, think about think about that inner girl. I think we all need to take breaks throughout life and just think about who we were when we were little and what we needed.
Yeah. How am I doing now? I think we're doing okay.
I think we're doing great.
I think we're doing okay.
Yeah.
But man, I didn't think that one question would take me there. Maybe that's a trigger.
That's the trigger. Or maybe you just need more wine.
Or maybe it's too much wine, and that's why I'm crying for crying out loud.
Is that even a thing? There is never such a thing as
probably not. Can we get to the game part where we laugh and say something?
We're done yet. I think
we have more questions.
We have one more. Hold on.
Shit.
Wait.
Oh man, there's questions. Yeah.
Yeah, we have one more. We have.
Oh, come on.
I like this one.
I just said it. I answered it prematurely.
You did, and you said something, I think, in the beginning, or even our one of our other episodes about this. But okay, so what would you say to your younger version of yourself who never felt seen, chosen, or enough? Yes, you've said that.
Yeah. Take up space. Be too much.
Yeah.
Don't dim your light in any room, under any circumstances. Yeah. That would be my message to her, because my big personality sometimes showed up in spaces, and there were times, No, there were times where I was made to feel like she's just too much. She's over the top. Or she's.
Why didn't you call me when you were in those situations?
I don't think I had a cell phone then.
Oh, that's
sorry.
Why.
No cell phones.
No cell phones back then. Cheers
but
to I would have been there for you.
Yeah, but now, man, I'll take up my space and yours.
That's right.
How about that?
Say that again.
Drink to that. That was good, huh?
That was good, yeah.
We're gonna make some good reels.
I would tell my inner self. I would tell. Why do we keep saying inner? Yeah, our inner girl. I would tell my inner girl that she's enough.
Of course.
And that she needs to choose herself first. Always choose you. I would tell her,
Again and again and again.
I would tell her to stop living for everyone else. Stop doing for so, it's okay to do, but live for herself.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because I
Oh
feel
man,
like
that's still you.
I would feel like I would be not different, but well, yeah, I feel like I would be different today, a little different if I lived for myself.
Yeah.
I've
More
never done
fulfilled?
that. Yeah, more fulfilled. I think I'd be less grouchy.
Probably. That could be the perimenopause, though. I'm
I
just
think I'd
saying.
stop trying to punch people in their throat.
I need whatever medicine you have, but that's for another episode
Mm.
because I still want to throat punch a lot. So there's that.
I want to go home and throat punch somebody. How's that? So listen.
Suggest everyone in the house clear out.
You want to send a text and
Let me send a
with
text.
a big alert?
Clear out, kids. She's coming home.
Oh my God! Listen, we didn't prepare a game for this one.
That's all right. This one was heavy. We're going to skip the game tonight.
Let's skip the game tonight.
I do have Reflection Corner, though.
I love Reflection Corner. It's my favorite part.
Before we dig in, though, to Reflection Corner, I don't know how often you ladies slow down to even think about. I'm going to be honest with you. Before this topic bubbled up, I don't know that I ever really leaned into that concept of talking to my inner girl. To Amy's point, that stuff doesn't bubble up until therapy or until you start doing real inner work and you realize, like anything else, in order to go forward, you got to look back.
That's right.
That's life, right? You got to know the history before you can know where you're going. So if you haven't had the opportunity, we all have the opportunity. It's powerful. Think about that young girl. Think about where you came from, what your experiences were. For some of you, they're going to be far more traumatic than others.
Yeah.
And tread lightly with that work, right? Because it's emotional. As you can see, there's nothing fake here.
No.
It'll bring tears, it'll bring sadness. There may even be some shame, but on the other side of that, when you do the work and you lean in and continue to do the work, the healing that comes from that, you can't put a price tag on.
I think it's a breakthrough.
You really can't. It is.
It's a breakthrough, and you have to be prepared for it.
Right. It's so powerful, though. So powerful. It is powerful work.
And it leaves you feeling a little bit of peace. You take that deep breath, because it's almost like saying, oh, we joke all the time, why are we like this? But it's almost like saying, like, this is why I could be like this.
Right. There's validation in it, for sure.
Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay. You just have to work through it.
Right.
It's important.
Listen to the little girl.
Listen to that little girl.
Listen to that little girl.
When you do listen to that little girl and you figure out what it was that you were missing, then give yourself that today. There's nothing wrong with
well, what else? What else would you do with that information? But try to fill in the cracks. Right? Meet her where she's at, in the unmet needs, right? In the old wounds.
Right.
Meet her there.
But cuddle her.
Right.
Cuddle her, give her that
nurture
love
her.
that she missed. Whatever it was she was missing, give it to her today.
Don't silence her.
No.
Don't silence her.
No.
She's so invaluable to you and to your growth.
Yeah.
If you lean into that.
Lean into it, because I feel like I know it's going to help you in other areas. It's going to help you in your marriage. It's going to help you parent your children. It's going to help you with your relationships with your adult, your mothers who are now, we can talk about that too, Right. It's going to help you with the relationship with your parents who are aging. Yeah, it's going to do so much for you. So lean into it.
And imagine if through that journey, you become your own biggest cheerleader, right? You were able to give yourself the encouragement and the safety and the validation that you never received as examples of things that might just be missing in childhood. Boy, if you can give that to yourself, you become unstoppable in that.
Right. These little girls down here had no idea. You know, we just got dressed and we went to cheering.
Right.
We had no idea that the things that we thought were just normal or that were happening in our lives then, we're going to set us up to sit here today and talk about. So I'm grateful for those moments.
I'm so grateful for those moments.
I'm grateful for even, I'm going to say this, I'm grateful for even, and I've had some trauma in my life, and I'm grateful for it because she would understand this, but it has prepared me in so many ways.
It builds a muscle you can't find at the gym, honey.
No.
It builds a muscle you cannot find at the gym.
No.
And it's in those very moments that you set yourself apart through those traumas and the healing thereof, or the process of healing.
Yeah.
That you come out the other side and realize, wow, there was so much that I was able to handle because of that trauma.
Yeah.
Because of what I dealt with.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to what we talked about with God giving you a life of preparation.
Right. Yeah.
It really is. It's all the things we go through, and some harder than others, but boy, does it prepare us for the war, right?
Has it? Yeah, it has. And I'm grateful for it.
Me too.
Hit us with a reflection.
Don't judge your emotional triggers. Don't judge them.
I like that.
Meet them with curiosity and not shame.
Oh, I like that one.
I love that too.
I need that. I needed to hear that.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed.
Don't be ashamed.
No.
Meet it with curiosity,
Right.
not shame.
Practice
self-compassion and speak to yourself the way you would speak to the young girl who was hurting.
I do. I try that all the time.
Be gentle with her.
Yeah.
Right?
She needed that.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Protect your peace by setting boundaries without guilt. That's a big one for me. That's probably bumps right up to the top for me, because I struggled with boundaries early in life. Grieve what you lacked to make room for growth. Right? So have a little funeral for what you didn't have, and then bury it so that you can finally make room to grow.
That's another good girls' night. Get together with your girls, sit around a table, have some wine, grieve it, bury it, get rid of it.
Yeah. I try to do that every year at New Year's. So that's like a thing that I do now. I get Post-it stickers out, and if I'm hosting, I'll get Post-it notes for everyone at the party, and I encourage everyone, write down what you want to leave right here in this year, what didn't serve you, what you don't want to take with you, and then we make a little bonfire and
let it go.
Burn that bitch.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Leave it here.
Let it go.
Right. It's good, Elsa.
Yeah, thank you. I try.
And then celebrate how far you've come. Man, that right there, that sigh.
You know, we celebrate so many things and we celebrate so many other people, but how often are we celebrating ourselves?
Not often enough.
Ladies, celebrate yourself. Celebrate this moment. Celebrate your wins, your lows, your highs, your losses. Celebrate it all.
Just getting through the day. Find a reason to celebrate and celebrate that.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be big. No. It's the small wins accumulated that create the greatness.
Yeah.
Right? Celebrate the small ones. So, I leave you with a quote. Healing your inner child is not about going backward. It's about finally giving yourself the fullest love, safety, and acceptance you've deserved all along. I love you.
Important. I love you.
And I love your little girl. Man, we had so much fun.
I loved your little girl.
I loved your little girl too.
We were so fun.
Your little girl was my favorite.
How about when we got stuck and they put us in the closet and they locked us in there and we just took our Cabbage Patch Kids and we played.
Yeah. We stayed there for a while, didn't we?
We had good
trauma bonding. We trauma bond a lot.
I never want to be stuck in a closet again, but if I have to, I want to be stuck in there with you.
I like it. I like it. That's our inner child talking.
Oh gosh, this is a great episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.
That was therapeutic.
This was therapeutic, and I hope it was therapeutic for you as well. And I hope you could sit back and think about some of these questions, go through them in your mind, and connect with your inner girl.
Right.
She needs you.
Right.
Yeah.
Until next time, like, follow, share.
Heart us. Hearts.
We love that you're coming with us on this journey.
Yeah.
Continue to join us for these messy, uncomfortable conversations. They'll be messy and uncomfortable, but you can always guarantee that they'll be real coming from us.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Cheers to the inner girl.
Yes. Cheers, ladies. Good night.
Bye, guys.